Welcome to the Alternative Hair Alchemist podcast. Now, whether you're one of the hundreds of thousands of women experiencing hair loss for any number of reasons, or if you're curious and want to check out what alternative hair is all about, you are in the right place. Hi, I'm Deborah. I am a certified alternative hair specialist, educator, and the co-creator of a one-of-a-kind, shame-free, stigma-free alternative hair boutique called Very Best Little Hair House, and that's where the magic happens. That's where I help women and men like you find the alternative hair that brings their inner beauty out. We take over where genetics or Mother Nature dropped the ball and help you find and wear the alternative hair that makes you feel vibrant. I've made it my business to discover all there is to know about good wigs and toppers, and I love to talk about them. It's not just hair. It's so much more than that. This is about feeling complete, and if alternative hair is the way for you to do that, I got you covered. Yeah, it sucks when you see your scalp shining through your hair, but you know what? There is joy in finding the right alternative hair, trust me. It can be overwhelming at first. I mean, where do you start? Wig, topper? Oh my God, will somebody know? What if my wig falls off? First of all, take a deep breath, I got you covered. This podcast addresses all things alternative hair. It's not always as easy as just finding a wig and putting it on, so I'm going to give you a tell-it-like-it-is viewpoint from what I see firsthand. I've been through it all: stress, hair loss, alopecia, chemo, so I started my own journey about 20 years ago, and at that time I had nobody to talk to or get advice from, so I am here for you. And I can tell you this, even on my best natural hair day, I never looked or felt as confident as I do in my alternative hair. And now, after 5 years of helping people in my shop get over that fear and get out there, I am bringing this to you to inspire, empower, and educate you. It's simple. When you look good, you feel even better. And if alternative hair is part of that confidence, who cares if you grew it or if you bought it? Forget your grandma's wig and prepare to look red carpet gorgeous. Time to end this shame and stigma. Life is too short not to love who you are, and I want you to get excited about the possibilities. So grab your headphones, feel the love I am sending your way, and let's do this. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Alternative Hair Alchemist. This is Deborah. I am so excited that you're here. Yay! I found out our podcast is doing well in Great Britain and France, and before it's said and done, everyone everywhere is going to know that wearing alternative hair is the super cool thing that it is. It is fun. It can make your life better. We are all spiritual beings here having a human experience, and you owe it to yourself to absolutely love everything about yourself and how you look in the mirror. And I'm sure some people listening to that are like, well, I'm not quite there yet. But you know what? Take a step in the right direction, and sooner or later you will be. So on this week's episode, I am going to talk about what I consider the best of the synthetics out there. So in doing that, I'm going to tell you what my favorites are and why, and I will tell you about what we carry in the shop and also why, and some really cool things that I love to look out for. But before we get into that, let me break it down again what Alternative Hair Alchemist means. Okay, you can buy a wig or a topper anywhere. And that's cool. There's lots of places to do that. But when you come to my shop, it's a process. Come through the door, we talk. I take into account your vibe. You tell me what your lifestyle is like, what you think you want. And I say think you want because almost everybody, 800 clients now, come through the door, and whatever idea they had when they went through the door of what they thought they want, almost always it's something they never expected. So I kind of take into account all these things. Not every wig or topper comes in every color, nor should it, because sometimes they look better in other colors. So when I chat with you, we start trying on, whether it's toppers or wigs. I like to hand people toppers so that they can see what you're in for every day when you go to clip it in. It's not really that complicated, but trying it firsthand might make you see for yourself the ease of wearing a wig that looks great too. But anyway, so that's where the Alchemist title comes in, because it's just sheer magic. It is really cool. I love all of my clients. I have the coolest clients that come here, intelligent, want the best, eager to learn. And so if that sounds good to you, check out my shop. I'm in Pennsylvania, but you never know. It's certainly worth a drive. And let's start talking about synthetics. I know the episode did well, where I talked about the differences between synthetics and human hair, and it is absolutely true. Do you want a human hair wig? Probably you do, because I'm telling you, a good one is a delight to wear. It feels good on. So yeah, you definitely want one. But by all means, do not let it stop you from checking out the better synthetics. There are tons of synthetics out there, and with synthetics, you need to look at the entire wig. It's not just the fiber or the hair itself, but also the way it's constructed. There are many average wigs out there. Every average is going to fit you differently. You may be finding that out as you go along, but I can tell you this, I know that there's something out there for you. And also, before I forget, just a little tidbit of information about supply. And as far as the wig industry, COVID gave the wig industry a pretty hard hit. There were production problems, and then once people got over it, got back to work, then there became shipping delays and what have you. It just resulted in a perfect storm of a lot of the best items in the best colors being out of stock. It's starting to get better. But I just this past week was checking on stuff at the warehouses, and some of the things are still out of stock until like next year. So my advice to you is, if you're finding something, you have a couple pieces you think you might want, keep that in mind, because if you see it, snag it. Too many people wait and then it's gone. And just, I thought I would throw that out there, because it can make the difference of you having to wait or whatever. Like if you have a wedding or holidays or whatever coming up, my advice to you is get what you want now. There's always maybe it isn't the perfect one for you, but there's always another one out there. And take it from me, life is better with more than one wig. So at my shop, I carry, I think, a little bit of 15 different brands that are out there. Now, some brands that are out there, I've checked out and I don't have them in my store. There are a couple that I got an entire shipment of 12 in, and I just was like, no, this isn't good enough. Like, my standards are really high. So what I have in my shop, if I have it, I can tell you why I have it, because I really believe in it. When I set up my shop, I wanted to have items that I loved, that I would use, that I felt okay about recommending. Drove me nuts wherever I went. I would ask a question and they'd go, well, I don't know. I don't wear wigs, or try this one over here. But anyway, so let's get right to the good stuff. As far as synthetics, Belle Madame. European Imports USA. Oh my goodness, their stuff is amazing. Now, their feature on their lace front, oh my God, it's like transparent. And usually they use the abbreviation SF for super front. And let me tell you, it is. Sometimes when I look at people's pictures and they have a wig on, one of the things I look for is that lace front detectable? There's some tricks to getting it to lay flat. We will cover that in another episode. But with the Belle Madame, oh, lovely. So that is a good point from them. Now, the thing is, they are like European based. So some of their styles are a little fashion forward, especially for some of the demographic, like in this area. I'm just saying it for what it is. Like, I will have things that look amazing on people, but they're not really that quite comfortable with something edgy. So keep that in mind. But take a look at Belle Madame. I have one wig from them. I have it in two colors. Kate Mono SF. Oh, beautiful. Lots of hair, lots of waves, but low density. So it looks amazing. You can do all kind of clip up and still leave the length. And the first one I had for a solid year before it started to show anywhere. So I look for that too, like longevity. How long is it going to look good? Although now I'm at the point where it doesn't really bother me too much because, like, hey, I'm looking to get another wig. Also, Belle Madame carries a men's line, and we use them quite a bit for men's pieces. They also have human hair, and we are going to talk about human hair in another episode. So continuing on, Ellen Villa, another German-based designer. She started out in clothing, so she has that flair for design. And with her, one of her things is not every wig looks good or should be made in every color. So when you go to their website, ellenvilla.com, you will be able to see every wig in every color, because that's just important to be able to see that, especially with some of your dynamic colors. It's really hard to look at a swatch or the little block of color and get a good idea. So they are one of the ones that is getting up to speed with that and having them on there. Also, her lace fronts are amazing. Both Belle Madame and Ellen Villa, their average runs a little bit smaller than a lot of the American brands, which works perfect for a lot of women. I get a lot of women in my shop that are truly petite, which is a challenge in itself and probably another episode. But if you tend to be on the smaller side of average, looking into one of those brands, it's going to fit your head better. And not only does it fit your head better, it's made with less hair overall, so it tends to be less dense to begin with, and that can be a huge advantage. And I'm here looking at my notes. I might have to break this up into 2 episodes because I don't want to forget any of the wonderful vendors that I carry. I'm telling you, some of the best out there, the nicest people. It's important to me that I'm able to call and talk to whoever there to get the right answers if I don't know something for my clients. And John Renault is another one that I absolutely love. Now, basically, I liked them for their human hair, but they do have synthetics that, for the John Renault fans, they love John Renault. Their cap fits a certain way. I'm a true average, and it fits me pretty well. So, John Renault has a certain style, as all of the vendors, they kind of, if the style speaks to you, then you're probably going to like more than one thing from them. But the thing I like about John Renault is they offer certifications to anybody that is selling, an authorized dealer for their product. Because I've said it before, when I opened my shop, I thought I knew everything that there was to know about wigs because I wore them. Turns out that's entirely not the case. So John Renault has education available. Not every John Renault vendor takes it, but they offer topper certification because, toppers, there is an art to making that look natural. And, they make sure their people know what they're doing. But John Renault, again, definitely something to look for. And by the way, these are in no particular order. Like I said, everybody is my favorite, but for a different reason. Tony of Beverly. I love Tony of Beverly. Now, they have what I describe as one-of-a-kind cuts. Their color selection is amazing. And again, not every wig comes in every color, but with them, pretty much almost, because they really over-deliver as far as the colors go. And the thing about Tony of Beverly, once again, women that like that type of style, they, return clients, they always stay within, the Tony of Beverly, if you're a Tony of Beverly person. And I'm sure there's some out there listening to go, yeah, that's right. But when you look at a Tony of Beverly style on, there's just something about it. It looks like you went to a high-class Beverly Hills salon. Like, their cuts are one of a kind, and they're pretty much, if they have a style, they hardly ever discontinue, although they do every now and then, because I was surprised they discontinued something I love, but we'll save that for another episode. And I just took a look at the timer and I can see I'm going on and on. This definitely will be 2 episodes and maybe 3. You get me talking about good alternative hair and I can go all day. So I have quite a bit of information in this one. 2 more I want to get quickly because they are local Pennsylvania companies and I am all about local businesses. Henry Margaux, they are really up in their game on the hand-tied front recently. I've seen some really nice things. They also have a good color selection. They have something for everybody. I'm a fan of their Naturally Yours line, which is the more medical grade construction. But one of the things you need to know about Henry Margaux is their products are amazing. Now, when you come to my shop, I gift you a care kit because that was something nobody also did for me, was tell me about how to take care of a wig because, that's a large part of it. But Henry Margaux's products are very light. They are pleasantly scented, if scented at all. Their shampoo I have given to clients and they come in for one appointment, they get their care kit, come back. They'll be wearing their previous wig once it's been washed in the Henry Margaux. And I'm telling you, visible difference. And their reps are really nice, just as well as Estetica, who I just was talking to this week, and they have something super cool coming up. It's a little bit delayed because, again, they want to make sure the quality is up to snuff. And, I am all about quality. So I was kind of impressed, but they've got some nice things in development. I took a sneak peek, so I'm really excited. And Estetica also has very good care products as well. So those are 2 more that I just wanted to give a shout out to. And again, we have a whole bunch more to talk about. When I set up my shop, I wanted to have choices because when you go to a shop, you think you want, let's say, a brown wig with bangs. Well, I didn't want to just have one. I wanted to have as many cool ones out there. And so that's kind of what I did. Not to mention cap size fits different. The fiber or the hair itself differs from brand to brand as the colors. I know I said it before, but it's worth mentioning again. And other than that, but to wrap up, the time for alternative hair is now. You don't need a reason. You don't have to wait for your diagnosis. You can feel better about yourself right now, and synthetics are a good place to start. So thank you for listening. Until next week, ta-ta. If you loved this episode and want to connect with me, please go to my website and drop me an email, verybestlittlehairhouse.com, so we can get in touch. And until next time, remember that you are beautiful, perfect, and loved just the way you are.